Darkness hides behind the brightest of screens. A family that once radiated love and discipline, now remembered for something far more disturbing. She preached about parenting, discipline, and faith. But beneath the curated facade of a perfect home lay a house of horrors.
Your parenting decisions on how will the child respond. So you're taking the child's responses and putting that as your number one. That is the worship.
Ruby Franke was once a beloved figure in the world of family vlogging, a woman who captivated millions with her no-nonsense parenting style. Her channel, 8 Passengers, had amassed a following of dedicated fans who tuned in religiously to watch her daily life unfold. But while the world watched through carefully edited videos, behind closed doors, a much darker reality existed. A reality that was only exposed when a terrified, malnourished child, her own son, escaped from the confines of his home, his body covered in wounds, his wrists marked with scars. He was desperate, starved, and broken. He ran for his life, begging for help. And in that moment, the illusion shattered. This is the shocking downfall of Ruby Franke, the so-called super mom who turned into a monster. A woman who justified cruelty in the name of discipline, whose unchecked authority led to unfathomable abuse. This is the story of how a popular YouTuber went from household name to convicted criminal, sentenced to years behind bars for the suffering she inflicted on her own children. But to truly understand how this horror unfolded, we must start at the beginning. It all began with what seemed like an innocent idea: documenting family life. Ruby Franke, a devoted mother of 6, started 8 Passengers in 2015, showcasing the joys and struggles of raising children. The channel gained rapid traction, standing out in a sea of family vloggers by offering something different: strict parenting, firm discipline, and unwavering rules.
You don't have a cell phone, you have access to a phone. Chad does not have a cell phone I took from him. He has access, which benefits were withdrawn.
Ruby spoke to her audience with authority, telling them that raising children required structure, obedience, and consequences. She didn't just share parenting tips, she dictated them. She removed privileges. She took away comforts. If a child misbehaved, they would face severe punishment. No second chances, no exceptions. At first, her followers admired her firm hand. Parents struggling with unruly children clung to her words, believing she had the answers. The internet praised her tough love, calling it a necessary balance in an era of permissive parenting. But as the months passed, something felt off. Some moments captured on video didn't feel like discipline. They felt like something else, something darker. There were signs, small ones at first, then impossible to ignore. The first came in the form of minor punishments. Ruby proudly declared in a video that she had taken away her son Chad's bed for 7 months as a lesson in responsibility. At the time, many shrugged it off. Parents discipline their kids all the time, right? But then the punishments escalated. Chad was forced to sleep on the floor for half a year, his every move controlled, his access to food restricted. His crime? Being disobedient. In another video, Ruby casually mentioned that she had denied her young daughter lunch one day, simply because she had forgotten to pack it herself. She let her go hungry, believing it would teach her a lesson. Then came the infamous trampoline video. One of her children was seen crying outside, begging to come back in, locked out as a punishment. The comments section exploded with concern. Something was deeply, horrifyingly wrong. Fans began questioning Ruby's methods, but every time she dismissed them. They don't understand, she insisted. They're too soft. But behind the scenes, the pressure was mounting. As Ruby's parenting methods became harsher, she sought guidance. And she found it in Jody Hildebrandt, a self-proclaimed parenting coach with extreme ideologies. Jody wasn't just any life coach. She was a woman with controversial beliefs, a woman who had built a reputation for advocating strict, almost militaristic discipline in the name of personal growth. She encouraged Ruby's toughest parenting decisions, validating them. She told her she wasn't being too harsh, she was being strong. Under Jody's influence, Ruby's rules became suffocating. Her children became prisoners in their own home. And then, the true horror began. It was August 30th, 2023, when everything fell apart. A young boy, Ruby's 12-year-old son, broke free from his home in Springville, Utah. His body was frail, his arms covered in open wounds. He was starving, his ribs showing through his skin. He ran through the neighborhood, desperate for help, until he finally found a house with the lights on. He knocked frantically, gasping for breath. When the door opened, the sight was horrifying. The neighbor who answered the door could hardly believe what they were seeing. The boy was emaciated, his wrists bound with marks, his skin covered in bruises. He pleaded for food, for water, for safety. And then he spoke the words that would unravel everything. "My mom is Ruby Franke." The call to 911 was immediate. Authorities arrived within minutes, and what they discovered inside Ruby's home was even worse than they had imagined. Another child, Ruby's 10-year-old daughter, was found in an equally horrific state. Malnourished, injured, a victim of long-term neglect. The walls held secrets no child should ever endure. When the news broke, the internet erupted in shock. Ruby Franke had been taken into custody. Her associate, Jody Hildebrandt, was arrested alongside her. The world watched in disbelief. How could this happen in full view? How could a mother, a woman who once positioned herself as the ultimate guide to parenting, be capable of such cruelty? Court documents revealed the chilling truth. The abuse had been systematic, spanning months, if not years. Ruby had isolated her children, convinced that her methods were justified, her punishments necessary. She believed she was doing the right thing. But the law disagreed. In a swift and decisive ruling, Ruby Franke was sentenced to serve between 4 to 30 years behind bars. Justice was served, but the scars remained. In the wake of her conviction, Ruby's remaining children were placed in protective care. Her eldest daughter, Sherry, publicly disowned her, revealing that she had long suspected abuse but had struggled to intervene. The family was shattered, and the internet, it had changed forever. YouTube family vlogging, once a realm of innocent entertainment, was now tainted by Ruby's legacy. The dark side of content creation had been exposed. Parents who once followed her advice now questioned everything. The world learned a painful lesson. Not everything we see online is real. And sometimes the brightest smiles hide the darkest truths. The case of Ruby Franke serves as a chilling reminder of how power, when unchecked, can destroy lives. How discipline, when twisted into control, can become cruelty. And how, even in the age of social media, monsters can live among us. The question now remains, how many more families hide behind the illusion of a perfect life? And how many children still suffer in silence? The world may never know. But one thing is certain. No one will forget the name Ruby Franke. Because her story is not just a cautionary tale. It's a nightmare that became reality. If this story shocked you, if it made you question what we see on social media, then let's talk about it. What are your thoughts on Ruby Franke's case? Do you think justice was truly served? Or does this case reveal deeper issues about parenting influencers and unchecked power? Let us know in the comments below. Your voice matters. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more gripping true crime stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update on cases like these. the ones that demand attention, the ones that reveal the dark realities hidden behind the perfect facades. And remember, if you ever suspect child abuse or know someone in danger, speak up. One voice can make all the difference. One action can save a life. Thank you for watching. Remember to stay safe, stay aware, and until next time, keep questioning what you see.